Hello Evertonians and welcome to the special edition of the All Together Now podcast. We are on the road and we're at the Dixie Dean Hotel in Liverpool city centre. I'm Tony Scott. I'm joined by West Derby's finest to my left, David Hughes, Greg O'Keefe and Gavin Buckland. Before we do start though, obviously we're at the Dixie Dean Hotel. Lots and lots to promote, including every single Everton match that is on BT or Sky. You have a matchday package, $14.95, with a meal, a pint and a table for all your mates. You can ring 0151 319 1208 and that's $14.95. You also do date nights here if you fancy bringing your partner. Thursday, Friday and Saturday. That's £30 per person. That's a 3-course meal and glasses of bubbly involved. And we've also a live singers here every Friday and Saturday. That's 7 till 9 too. And if you've got a season ticket, bring it along. You get 10% off too. So it's well worth coming here. Gentlemen, big stories this week. They involve Marco Silva and Everton against West Ham. Big questions: is 3 games enough for Marco Silva to save his job? Is Marco Silva feeling the frustration of 25 years without a trophy at Everton? Is it now or never for Tom Davies with injuries to Jean-Pierre Gabin and Fabian Delph? Also, what impact has the international break had on our players? We'll be discussing our festive fixture changes and also the Everton versus West Ham United preview too. David, we'll start with you first. Like a Carragher Henry moment, that wasn't on the knee.
We started the date night.
The date night started already. Is right, is 3 games enough for Marco Silva to save his job?
Yes. My only issue is, I've said this off camera to Gavin, I'm not sure if we're at that stage yet. My only issue is I just think long term, I feel like the damage has already been done. I feel like every little mini crisis is going to be turned into a bit of something a lot bigger. And I think even if they manage to put a couple of wins in over these next few weeks, we're probably going to be in this position again in 6 months' time, even if Silva stays.
Greg, if Everton fail to beat West Ham on Saturday, do you see Farhad Moshiri firing the bullets?
I don't think that it would happen even if we were to lose on Saturday. But with Moshiri, I think if you look at his track record of getting rid of managers pretty reasonably quickly, if you think of Koeman and Allardyce, and there was obviously reasons why both went when they did, but he didn't waste any time once he decided that was it. But what we understand is that he is prepared to give him more time, and I think that is not just West Ham and then see what happens. He understands the mitigation with injuries and with like lack of experienced players coming in the summer because of the transfer policy of brands and the club in general. And there is still a goodwill and a patience for the manager. But I've got this little caveat in the back of my mind that say, I don't think this will happen. We'll talk about predictions and all that later. But say we were to get hammered by West Ham, like you say, I think it's unlikely. But if we did, sometimes the maelstrom of public social media and the public sort of jury can be so compelling that who knows what would happen. Maybe it would pressure the powers that be, but it's all the noises that we're hearing from inside the club are that won't be the case, and I don't think we'll get beat. So,
Gav, is 3 games more than enough for Marco Silva to save his Everton career?
Yeah, go back. What's been said there, it's significant. The 3rd game's the Watford game in the League Cup. So I mean, that was the 3 of them. That's probably the key one, isn't it?
Yeah.
We then get back into the Howard Kendall or Oxford moments in 1984, then don't we really? I think it's well enough. I think it's all won't be particularly, the end of the world on Saturday. But share what Greg's saying there. I mean, Koeman's last game was that 5-2 home defeat was Arsenal. A result like that on Saturday could leave Silva in a very difficult position. Like it's live on telly, all that type of stuff.
Early kick-off.
There's lots of things that could go against them. Back home, we're going to talk about the international break, obviously. So, barring any disaster on Saturday, I can't see there being a problem. But I think it's right. There's lots of reasons why it hasn't gone well this season, and in many respects, even if we get like good results next 3 games, you're just papering over the cracks with some big fixtures ahead, in December as we talk about. So, the three games to save a job for the moment, I would say.
Have we got to the point where it's getting hostile inside Goodison Park when you're seeing it towards the end of Martinez and Allardyce and Koeman? Have we reached that point yet, Gav?
No. I don't think so.
I don't see that.
I don't think so. I think there was a clear disconnect, certainly at the end of Koeman's days, where there's a disconnect between the players' crowd and Koeman himself. I don't think that's there at the moment with the players and Silva in particular. You still see a togetherness there, I think, but one game can change a lot of things, can't it, really? So I think Saturday is not necessarily a must-win game, but it's definitely a must-not-lose badly game.
Do you reckon we're trapped in a bit of a probably isn't the right phrase, but in my brain think like a feedback circle because it's gone wrong in a certain way with Martinez and Koeman. Ignore Allardyce, that was just a spectacularly bad appointment, but the way the end came for Martinez and Koeman, because things have, I know it's not the first time it's gone wrong under Silva, but it's starting to go wrong again. We almost conditioned to expect the sack, but it shouldn't be the case, should it? Just because it's happened to Martinez and Koeman, it's totally different circumstances, and we're talking in this segment about 3 games to save us. I mean, we're contributing to it in a way, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
By the way, we're saying, and this is not obviously criticism of the question, it's very legitimate, but it all contributes towards this sense that his job's on the line. When should it be? I don't know.
I think it's something that we'll probably cover shortly, but there's just a lot of pressure on the Everton job. It's a bit of a poison chalice, I think, coming in, and you haven't got everybody fan-wise pulling in the same direction. I should say. That has a major impact on the progression of the side and kind of getting through these mini crises, because as I touched on before, I could quite easily see something like this again happening in 2-3 months time, even if he does get through it, just because of the pressure. There's no patience anymore because of previous regimes. Everton want everything here and now, which we all feel that frustration, of course we do, but they want it all here and now.
I got interviewed by Paddy Boylan for the Athletic for the week, and after the Manchester City game, and I said that when you go years without success, each succeeding manager has more pressure placed on them than the predecessor, and therefore a shorter period of time to prove themselves. And that's the cycle we're in, aren't we? And going back to Greg's point, it's right. This is what I said to Paddy, is that you've got to break that cycle. You can't just carry on doing that loop continuously, because it's costly for a start and it's very destabilising. And as we see at the moment with Everton, if you end up with a manager who's inherited players from 4 different managers, you're not going to get the right blends of players in the team, which is pretty much what we are at the moment. We've got like 20 different players, but actually we haven't got a formation that fits them all, or fits 11 of them, because some are bought by Sam, some are bought by Koeman, some. Have you got anybody from the Martinez?
I was thinking that then. Possibly not.
But in the last year or two, we've had players bought from 3 different formats. Jag was there a bit more, Yeah. And when you get that position,
Coleman as well.
You find it's very difficult to get a starting 11. That way, everybody blends in well, because they come from the management styles of 3 or 4 different managers. And the one thing in football is, one of the great truisms of football is, every manager is the polar opposite of the previous manager. That's why
they want to change,
because that's just and that makes it worse then about the players that they bring in.
Is Silva feeling the full frustration then of 25 years without a trophy, and is it because Liverpool have been so successful at the moment?
Well, I mean, Gav's definitely just answered the first part of that, and I think the answer is definitely yes. Every manager, until we win something, will feel the pressure and the weight of that lack of success. To answer the second part of the question, it's a good one. Absolutely, he is. With Liverpool flying, again, they've come strong. They've won the Champions League last season. They came up short in the league, but rather than let the heads go, they're going again, and it looks like they're going to mount. Well, they are mounting a very serious title challenge. They're flying, they're winning games, and of course that generates pressure in this city. And it's painful, isn't it? Like when we're getting beaten 1-0 at Turf Moor by an awful Burnley team, by the way. They're flying and getting results and playing attractive football, and we've said this before, but they seem to have in many ways, personality wise, the polar opposite in the dugout. I mean, what do you think? Is it
I don't think the personality has nothing to do with it. I just think you've just got I was making resemblance to Liverpool's second season under Klopp, and I think they lost about 9 or 10 games in the second season. No one hit the panic button there. I'm not saying Silva's going to do what Jurgen Klopp did, but Liverpool actually seen a way that they were going to play under him, and they're going to say, this is Klopp. I think they lost games against Newcastle, Watford, Crystal Palace. I think they lost like 5 on the spin, Liverpool, and there was no panic buttons getting pressed, but they could see the end result at the end, and I just think it's important. It's not going to look good at the moment, but I just think it's going to achieve nothing, absolutely nothing, by sacking him.
There's 2 points to raise there. The first point about the current success, I think it's not just the current success, it is where you've seen Liverpool as the global brand, and Everton is still this very insular city, you know what I mean?
And we've got all the financial backing as well.
But leads me to the second point is, I see pieces about Everton Liverpool 2015, both 8th or 9th in the table, and you know, since then Liverpool have moved on, Everton have, you know, it probably got worse, to be fair. But the point you're missing there is Liverpool's turnover in 2015 was £300 million a year, Everton's was 120. So their turnover is 2.5 times a year bigger than ours, and that gives you greater flexibility in terms of the players you can buy and the wages you can put on. You can put them on. And so Everton and Liverpool were by no means on the same level playing field in 2015, which some people think they were. And that's given them so much more opportunities to become where they are now. I mean, we can have Fasheri. We can have Mashiri at the chairman throwing loads of money, but you're still governed by financial rules, aren't you?
We've seen that this summer, haven't we?
We are a £200 million turnover club a year. The top 6 are £450 million minimum. But that, you know,
you can only do so much, can't you?
You can bridge the gap only in very little portions at the moment. And so that the comparison with Liverpool is not necessarily what I'm saying. Is that we're in a level playing field, both clubs, in 2015, because we weren't.
I was at a after dinner speaking last weekend. Neville Southall was speaking, and he said, and everyone was surprised. I thought he was right in what he said, and there was a lot of surprised Everton fans with the quote that he said. He said, for Everton to be successful, it needs a successful Liverpool team in the city at the same time. He said what it means that Everton's board need to pull their fingers out if Liverpool are successful, because they would normally settle for mediocrity. If Liverpool were, say, 6th or 5th, Everton fans would be like, oh, that'll do us, do you know what I mean? They're not winning the league. In order for Everton to be successful, they need a good Liverpool team.
But I don't think it's that straightforward anymore for the reasons Gav has just said. I think he's probably thinking back, I don't want to be disrespectful of Nev, really intelligent guy who's, you know, a club legend, but is he not thinking of the 80s when financially they were on more or less a level playing field? I get what he's saying in a way. They inspire their success, but they've been successful for a while now, and it hasn't.
Only won one trophy
apart from
8 years.
Although I'm thinking like 2005, we obviously finished above them, didn't we? But since then, they've won a couple of. They've won one. The
last trophy was 2012 before last season. That was a League Cup,
right? Yeah,
and before that was 2006.
By the way, I think this is all relevant. Just on this Liverpool point, Liverpool are right now in the midst of a once-in-a-generation side. Like, this is a side that they're going to be telling the grandkids about. If you see what they're doing now, it's unprecedented. It's up there with what the best ever sides they've ever had.
Hold on, what about when they had Pepe? Don't
100%.
Rainer, Suarez,
Mascherano, what they're doing now is
every game.
Look at them over the last 38 games.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But correct, like this different from the 80s when there was more of a level playing field between the clubs, where we can go from being bottom of the league in Christmas '83 to being best team in Europe 18 months later. That's not going to happen. So it is it's a hell of a lot of different now. But the fundamental, it's still fundamentally true. I mean, John Moore said that when he took over Everton in 1960. As I say, my new book, when he can't buy love, you know.
Get on it. Yeah. Especially before Christmas.
It needs both clubs to be successful and like to drive each other on. The only problem with Everton is you need £500 million a year to be able to compete.
So is it then, to answer the question, is it because, sorry Gav, is it the frustration because Liverpool are doing so well? Is it boiling over now to Silva?
No,
more added pressure on him because Liverpool are so successful?
So I think the Silva thing's just to do with the inheritance 25 years of failure. I think that more is probably to do with the board and how the club is run.
Interesting.
So it's been 9 years, isn't it, since FSG took over at Anfield, and I think the Liverpool thing, the comparison, the gap between the two is more at the income generation level. as much as anything else. But as Greg was saying, Liverpool have had years of success. Okay, not won trophies, but being money-wise being one of the richest clubs. And I think, you know, that's where the pressure's being placed by fans. But ultimately, we are an insular club, aren't we? We have got no global, because we don't play in the Champions League, don't appear at the top end of the Premier League. We have no global presence that's going to earn us a lot of money apart from the Premier League rights, where Liverpool's commercial deals and all that. It's like, you know, makes so much. Level. And you know, so I think it's unfair then to place pressure on the board, but the pressure is there, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
I think there's lots of stuff criticising the way the club's been run, isn't it? And like maximise the commercial link over the last, you know, 6 to 12 months, but there's not really a lot the board can do if you've not got a successful team, you know, on the pitch.
So if there's pressure off the pitch, there's going to be pressure on it.
Absolutely.
So in terms of this Saturday, it's probably one of the most pressurised games in Everton's, what did you say, for a long while? Going back a good few years now, aren't you, Greg?
6 months.
You're going back to... Yeah, I think the last pressurised game I've been to like this was probably Unsworth against Watford. I think that was a big game when we come back and won 3-2. And there's a lot of hostility there and just fans just wanted answers. How do you think the players will react to this pressure?
It's a good question.
Do you think they've got the stomach for this pressure?
Yeah, I think so. But it's a question of really, have we got a good enough team?
Yeah,
they've got a good enough team to do West Ham, surely.
You talk about fight and determination.
Have they got that in the locker?
Well, I don't think it really matters at the moment. I think what matters at the moment is I've got the right tactics, my players for the formation for the team, and quite evidently this season we haven't.
Greg, if they got the stomach for it?
See, I sort of disagree there. I do think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
But I also think, like I've done a piece this week. I was speaking to like Alan Stubbs, Leon Osman, and funnily enough Tobias Linderoth. We were talking about how you pull.
That's a random
It's a random selection, isn't it? Yeah, and I'm talking about how a team pulls itself out of a losing slump. And Stubbs was saying, texting the big fella here, asking him when was our last equally bad run, and he reminded me that actually in 2005, the Villarreal season, let's say, after the disappointment that we went on a game of 6 consecutive defeats without scoring a goal under Moyes. Now, if that happened, the manager would probably be gone.
Sacked.
I don't think Twitter was a thing in 2006, was it? So, no. I mean, and I'm not just saying Twitter, but times have changed in many different ways. But nevertheless, you need big personalities. It helps. Now, Gav's right. Ultimately, if our players are better than theirs in enough areas and perform on a day, but I really do think it helps if you have character and players who are prepared to stand up and be counted. And Osman spoke about, me and you remember this game very well. In fact, we all will. Do you remember New Year's Eve, Sunderland away?
Yeah.
That
game,
season.
Kale last minute, was it?
It was. We'd got battered in the derby, I think 3-1 at Goodison. 2 players sent off, Arteta and Neville. Yeah. We went away to Sunderland, who were crap, and they were battering us. Yeah. And I think it was the 93rd minute. Yeah. Now, we got a corner. Kilban didn't take our corners, but he went, I'm taking this. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take the responsibility. Put the ball on a sixpence. Another leader, Kale, rises above probably 6 foot plus defenders, scores. And after that, we didn't look back. We were 17th going into that game. I think we finished 11th. So, have we got players like that? Delph's injured. On Saturday, who are going to step up? I'm not sure.
Where's the characters, David, in this Everton team?
I think this
to get silver.
I think this Everton team lacks them, to be honest.
There's got to be one, surely.
I think I always look at positions for characters, and I always think your centre back. You know, a centre back should be a big character. You've got Michael Keane, who for me is very fragile in terms of his
passive, isn't he?
He is. It's just you can see him shrink within a game when it doesn't go his way. Yerry Mina, I think he's actually had a good season so far, but I'm not sure if he's that leader. Yeah, I think
it's a language thing with him as well.
Yeah, exactly, and that is important to know. By the way,
Pickford,
no.
Luca Dean,
Luca Dean, I think can be. I think he can be, but I think this side really lacks leadership. You know, people probably would have flagged Delph as a potential leader. I'm still not convinced. I think he talks the game but doesn't necessarily walk the walk.
Leadership's difficult in an individual if they're struggling for form. They've got their own game to worry about. rather than looking after everybody else.
Yeah, but you still see some sides still have it though.
I'm not saying that you can't do it, but it becomes more difficult. I think. Is leadership overrated within a team? Do we look at successful teams and say they're successful because they've got leaders, or is it because they've got good players?
You look at all successful teams, they've all got leaders. Everyone who's won the league.
You need good players there.
Yeah, you also need leaders. You look at every single team that's won the Premier League, all league, go back to every generation going, they'll have a stonewall captain, they'll have a character in there, they'll have a really good dressing room, they'll have leaders in that team. Every team.
Yeah, I get that completely, but can you name bang average teams who've been good because they've got good leaders? Where they've got poor players that are not.
Well, not poor players, you can't win. You can't do anywhere poor players. Look at that Leicester team. You know what I mean? I think that Leicester team has it.
Won the league? Yeah, it's Simpson, average players.
They've got some players, it's like good players.
Where's Morgan?
You always got a good example, and maybe they haven't
decent players though,
a consistent captain. I thought Noble's done a very good job at West Ham. He'll be captain there on Saturday.
So which leads us obviously to the midfield battle. Now there's no Jean-Pierre Gabin, there's no Fabian Philippe.
He's changed his name now.
Changed his name twice. So without Gabin, without Delph, obviously we all know Silva wants to play the 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Is he hamstrung again? He can't play, can he?
Does Silva, and maybe someone else can answer this better than me, although I work in media, that's not my bag talking to the manager. Does Silva still want to play the 4-3-3?
Yes, he does.
Has he said that?
He told you,
Because
numerous times he spoke.
I know he did initially, but I can't think of a time.
I said this week. There's quotes this week. He still says that he wants to play 4-3-3. That's his aim. But with this week, he's got Tom Davies fit. He's got Andre Gomez fit. He's got Morgan Schneiderlin fit. So he can play the 4-3-3. What is stopping him in a must-win game? Now he's described it as a must-win game. He can play the 4-3-3. He's got the midfield to do it.
I don't think he has with that team.
You know what? I said this on Twitter, and people were replying to me. It's about time you gave Tom Davies. It's this thing again where a player's gone out to the team, and because someone wants something to attach themselves and ire against Silva with, he becomes like a lightning rod for get him in the team. He hasn't done anything to deserve being in the team, and when he has played, he hasn't been good enough.
Was that because we're doing so poorly and he's been out the team, and all of a sudden you go,
exactly. And someone said England under 21 captain, so what?
He's not.
Yeah,
doesn't mean anything to me.
Because cynically you said that the best under 21 players aren't playing for the under 21s to play for the
national
team.
Precisely, exactly.
I think that gets overlooked.
Actually. I think that's one of the things we need to remember.
Although the exception, I think the likes of Phil Foden and all that, I think they're walking to the majority of Premier League teams.
Yeah,
there's a few in there.
Basically, what I'm saying there is, if captain under 21 team doesn't necessarily mean the best under 21 team.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's a bit of a red herring, or blue herring even. I mean, Tom's played a bit like Calvert-Lewin. There's 100 games with thereabouts, mixing of subs and
appearances
over 3 years, and points the same with Calvert-Lewin. If you've been at a club 3 years and playing for them for a lot of that time, and you've still not made it, and you're now the age of 21, 22, you've got to be asking serious questions about whether I'm actually going to make it at this club.
I think Calvert-Lewin's light years ahead of Tom Davies.
Yeah, is it now or never for Tom Davies then? Is it now or never?
Now I think maybe with Tom, the moment's passed them by.
Greg, do you? Now or never for Tom Davies?
I mean, I would like him, say he did get an opportunity on Saturday, I'd love him to prove me wrong and to seize it. And possibly, to answer your question, possibly it is now or never. If Silva did go 4-3-3 and pick him, then it's a massive opportunity. And if he were to not manage to grasp it, I think a lot of fans would go like, it's not going to work for him. But
would he excel?
Tactics definitely. Sorry, mate. It is definitely your bag there. So, do you think he trusts a 4-3-3 with Schneider, not just Davies, but Schneiderlin, Davies, and Gomez in what's a very important game, or does he go 4-2-3-1?
Yeah, 4-2-3-1. I can't really see how reliable that 4-3-3 is with that midfield. I think Schneiderlin's already proven, and by the way, of all people, I'm probably Schneiderlin's biggest advocate. I don't love him, but I always try and give him credit when he deserves it. But I don't think he can do that job on his own. It's a demanding job to kind of act as that number 6 on your own, which is why they normally bring in a second as a double pivot, as they call it. Schneiderlin couldn't do that, so now I'm thinking, well, who can anchor that position? I don't think it can be done on its own. So it's really irrelevant. And I equally, I don't think Gomez is particularly one of the number 8s either. I don't think he's good enough to do it.
But that's why.
No, you're not his biggest fan.
I'm not Gavin.
I don't see.
You're really just a guy's biggest fan, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I was.
I've been stewing on that. I've been stewing on it, to be honest. I couldn't wait to get that.
But that was one of the reasons why I didn't understand the sign on the Gomez. In that, I didn't see him as a number 6 because his tackling's hopeless. Defensively, he's not disciplined, and I don't see him as a number 8 because I had a look at the stats before I did the podcast.
He's got this. What's he got up his sleeve?
Man after my heart.
No, not XGs. I don't understand.
Waste the time. Forget it. Take it back.
That basic one of like goals and assists since 2014, playing Valencia, Barcelona, Everton. 8 assists in 6 seasons.
No, what? Just to add the.
You know what I mean? So I don't see him as an. So I don't see him as a 6. And I don't see him as an 8 or being a creative. So what is he then? That was what role do you want him to play?
I've said this for a long time. I think he looks elegant when he's playing well, but I think he can disappear in games a lot. And just to add the expected context to Gav's comments, you know, his underlying numbers say the exact same thing. He's not creative. He's not particularly great defensively or attacking. His passing numbers are average at best. I'm just not sure what he does. And people say, and okay, when you watch him, he does ooze some class about his game, but it's just not consistent enough, and you need a little bit more impact.
But at the same note, to take your point on board, he's Everton's best midfielder, isn't he?
No, I don't think so.
Who's better than him?
I don't think there's any standout candidate.
That's what I'm trying to say. So he's our best.
That's different between saying there's no standout candidate or. Well,
so what I'm trying to say, if Silva's picking his best team at the moment, he's the first midfielder on the team sheet, surely.
With all the midfielders fit?
Yeah.
When you think if Gavin was fully fit,
well, we haven't. He looked like a fish out of
water. No, I was.
So say to where I'm going. He's the first name on the sheet in midfield.
You could argue the point that actually the first name on the sheet is Schneiderlin because he's the only player who can play the anchor role.
Is he?
Fair point.
What's this anchor role against Sheffield United at home? What's this anchor role against West Ham?
You still need one though.
You still need one. Do you know every midfield needs somebody to play, sit in front of the defence, especially our
defence. Just maybe not a double pivot.
I just think
that's a different question.
When he gets the ball, his natural reaction is to just go back or sideways. Surely to God, you can have something in your locker to go forward.
His roles for cycling possession.
It was interesting.
I've never seen him win a tackle.
No, he has. Come on,
when was the last time?
That is a game.
No, you have. You've seen him win some great tackles when he first came.
Yeah, exactly when he first came. He's been there 3 years. What's the problem?
You know what? Now Banalas has gone. He's got to have.
I know. I was trying to say he's getting.
We haven't touched on Coleman.
On that, because he is someone who's now attracted. Like he's become like. I don't want to say the boo boy because that's not fit. Because he hasn't been great. I'm not saying he has. But it's interesting. Like at Burnley, right? I think I watched Delph put balls into touch 2 or 3 times, trying to hit the 30 yards, and he was at least he's trying. But if Schneiderlin had done that, he would have been absolutely dug out on everywhere. Because it was Delph, and I just think I certainly think he's finished with the fans, really, Schneiderlin.
Yeah,
and it's just a matter of if we could do it, big if it's Gomez, it's Delph. And it's Gavin, isn't it? But we all keep saying Gavin. We don't even know if he's any good because he hasn't kicked up.
I'll be honest. I think he will come good from what.
Hope so.
Data
wise.
No, the sad thing though about that now. That's his season finished, isn't it?
Well,
you think about it.
He might out to see Silva.
Well, yeah, genuinely. Because you think he's out till what, January? You've got to get fit again.
Match fit.
You're not going to see him again.
And then he's playing in a new league, relatively young, so you can't judge him on February. Let's say
season fit.
Well, yeah, hopefully score the goal.
Season finishes a couple of weeks ahead as well because of the Euros as well, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. So there you go.
So
well, one change we will have on Saturday. We'll have a different right back in.
We will.
Sidibe will be in. Coleman suspended. Yeah. That's got to be a plus, surely.
I must say I was alarmed seeing as I was someone saying he should get a run. That apparently a few of the club officials have said they're a little bit concerned about what his output and if he's as good as they thought he would have been.
Sidibe?
Yeah. Has no one seen that?
I just think you can't. I look at Coleman, especially I watched the Ireland game during the week, and it was as bad as what he's done for Everton. that he's knocked out over the last couple of weeks. Yeah, every time he's just looking sideways. He's got no ambition to go forward. When was the last time you seen him take 2 plays on?
He's great against City.
You know what, he is actually.
Yeah, he has done one of them games where he plays within himself and he's on adrenaline and he'll go through brick walls. But they're few and far between them, Greg.
He's been a proficient dribbler this season, actually.
Yeah, but then I bet what's his end product?
No, yeah, that's what I was about to say, but I'm not saying nothing for his end product. So he seems to be getting forward a lot, dribbling a lot, but it's not really doing much, Which says for the fact that he's got more red cards than assists this season.
Says a lot, doesn't it? So if we do play this 4-2-3-1, you think it'll be the team will pick itself with?
It does more or less, doesn't it?
By the way, 4-3-3, that means Sigurdsson. I would imagine we say Sigurdsson wouldn't play. I would that.
Is Sigurdsson a big... We spoke about this guy.
Yeah. Can he get up and down? I don't think he can.
No, he hasn't got that out.
We effectively play 4-2-4, don't we, with Sigurdsson?
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's why we got loads of space. The opposition, when the opposition get the ball in midfield, because Sigurdsson's like 20-30 yards up the pitch. That's the problem, innit? I wouldn't rule out 4-3-3. Because it's a case we've got to do something different from 4-2-3-1. You know what I mean? Like, it's not... You know, everybody mentions that Einstein quote now, don't they, about was a genius, do the same thing again, expect the same result. And whatever it is, the genius insanity. Same
thing.
I think West Derby lads here tonight, what's going on?
Keeping it together.
With me it is genius, you know. No, seriously. I think that's one of the frustrations with fans.
Yeah, of course. You see that 4-2-3-1, they wash their hands with it.
And actually, I wouldn't necessarily be against 4-3-3, albeit with some reservations about the balance in midfield. But hey ho, 4-2-3-1, we haven't got any balance in midfield as well.
So the three in midfield picks itself: Davis, Schneiderlin, Gomez.
I would not be, if that was the team sheet on Saturday, I would think, well, at least he's trying to do something different here.
Can I ask you something? Would you, and it's an open question, would you put Iwobi as an 8?
You could do, yeah.
I'd like to see him play as a 10.
Yeah, 10, but if we had to go 4-3-3.
But if we went 4-3-3.
I think that Iwobi is
potentially
an 8.
I would like
okay, if you did 4-3-3, if Iwobi's your 8, who would you take out?
Not my opinion, but I think Davis could be the one. I think Davis could be the one to be cut, because I don't think Silva trusts him at all, does he?
So you would have Delph, not Delph, who would you have as off?
Schneiderlin, Gomez, Iwobi.
So this is how I'd see it. I think Iwobi's a really good ball carrier, like a water carrier. I think he gets from A to B. I think you've got Schneiderlin anchoring, Gomez providing some sort of ball playing to an extent, and Iwobi then being that, that connecting between the midfield and the attack.
And then who's the three up front?
Yeah, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin and Bernard.
Yeah. The only reservation I've got, perhaps, is they've got quite a strong front four, haven't they, West Ham?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, they have.
So defensively, they've got defensively got to be really getting right on Saturday. Because their strength, isn't it? I think is their.
No, yeah, you're totally right. I was looking at the goals,
and I think if we've got problems if Gomez and Iwobi wander up the pitch.
Yeah, true enough.
And I think Davis provides maybe not ideally a little bit more defensive stability,
that's true.
And mobility. And I'm just thinking, both Gomez and Iwobi in the middle on Saturday could defensively be a risk. I think Schneiderlin, Davis, and Iwobi might actually be don't play Gomez.
Do you think any of what's happened over the
international... with 5 midfielders here, wouldn't we?
4-5-4. Sam stuff, this.
To counter that though, I'd probably say to our wing backs that we normally fly up the pitch, just sit back a little bit deeper. Because we'd already have 5 in it.
The fans won't, they'd be restless. I know it's an early kick-off, they won't...
Rule of thumb though, you normally want about 5 players in the attack, don't you? So in that setup that we're talking about there, you want the 2 8s attacking with the 3 forwards. Normally we counter that by having the 2 wing backs going up and more midfielders sitting. I just think, because I agree by the way with what Gav said, I've watched a lot of West Ham and they seem to create a lot of chances through open play, and through that kind of front four. So I do think he needs countering. I think if you just keep the wing backs a bit more tucked in.
But you're worrying about the opposition more than we're at home. The expectations
but come on, that's all bullshit. That let's be honest. You need to adapt your tactics to beat the opposition in front of you.
I agree with you.
That gives you the platform to get the ball back, doesn't it? You know, if you got that, if you've got 6 players up the top, you're going to struggle then, aren't you?
We're not good enough to say don't worry about the opposition.
I know that, but
I think in Silva's position on Saturday needs to worry about the opposition.
Do you think what happens in the international break will have any effect on Everton in terms of Michael Keane? Didn't have the best of international breaks. Seamus Coleman, well, he won't be involved obviously. And Moise Keane was sent off.
Pickford wasn't brilliant in the
Moise
game.
Keane was sent
Czech
off.
Republic.
Sigurdsson missed a penalty.
Luca Dean played well.
Luca Dean played well.
The ray of positivity in the corner.
Just bring him over here.
I only answer positivity behind the camera. Do you think that'll have an effect on anything? Michael Keane's confidence?
I think what will have more of an effect from, if you're talking about the international break, is the lack of time that Silva's had with the players. I think most of them have gotten back. Mina played last night.
Yeah.
So he's getting back today. And look, it's not that, they know their roles, but getting back to Taylor making a team to beat West Ham and to deal with what West Ham's there, it doesn't leave him much time. And then he's got the early kick-off. I just think circumstances have really conspired against him here. He's between a rock and a hard place when it comes to Saturday, and he needs. I
think he's been unlucky in general this season.
Has been
like we obviously, that's not to explain everything, but if we are giving him a little bit of credit, he has had a tough run, and Everton are actually underperforming a little bit as well. But
we haven't exactly. We haven't mentioned Richarlison. Think about it. Really, he's one of his key players. And when he's on form, say Wolves, you can tear the defence apart. And he's been poor the last few weeks, hasn't he? Poor at Burnley, poor against Sheffield United.
Even Moise Keane, you think he would have maybe got 1 or 2 by now, wouldn't he?
I believe he's miles off,
Yeah, well,
I
still really like him. I still think he'll come up. But you expect to pay 40 mil for a golden child.
Exactly. But again, was he what we needed? He's a great
we all know
player.
that.
We all know Mandzukic.
He was too soon.
And he was told you can't get Mandzukic. But here's a 19-year-old. What a gulf. So surely he does deserve that patience, given what he's got.
Yeah, would you play him out wide?
Who, Keane?
I thought he's done better out wide, funny enough.
A lot of overseas players, especially starts off wide, don't they? Like Thierry Henry's the classic.
Everyone goes in as the example.
When I've seen him this season, Ronaldo as well,
excuse me, you're right. Richarlison's playing out wide.
Sorry. No, what, Gavin, your point?
When I've seen him this season, late night again, I only want, it's not at the round.
This thing, like, well.
Is, when he has played well for us this season, it's when he's moved out wide, isn't it, where he's had a little bit more space.
Yeah, he has.
I think as a 19-year-old, and we've seen it at Burnley when he was, and Sheffield United home, if you were playing against 2 tough centre-halves, or 3 when we played Sheffield United, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you're a 19-year-old lad who's played Serie A, when actually, Italy's can be defensive, but they're looking after Ronaldo and Mandzukic and stuff, and you've got a bit more space. That can be a big ask, can't it? If someone who's small, so it's not like Calvert who's got a physical presence. And I just think out wide, where he's got a bit more space, maybe it's not as tough and robust as through the middle. I think that's where it maybe looks to play him at the moment, if I was going to play him. And I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a choice between him and Calvert-Lewin to play number 9. I'd certainly like to see him given an opportunity out wide, just see how he goes.
Well, I was going to leave before, but just revisiting that 4-3-3 we talked about. You mentioned Bernard, didn't you? Yeah. I was going to say I'd actually put Moise Keane in there.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you have Ken, Calvert-Lewin, and Richarlison in front three. I'd like to give that a go.
Thoughts on that now, isn't it?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Do you not think
get him on the phone? We'll talk.
Do you not think if he did a variation on what we're saying, right? When that team drops on Twitter, in the press room on Saturday, everyone goes, "Oof, he's having a go here." It buys him that little bit of extra credit.
Does it give him a pass as well if they go and then
maybe
losing?
It does.
Do people
unless they get hammered?
I don't think it does. If they get beat, regardless of the formation he plays, if they get beat,
but what would you be saying?
Then the booze.
Okay, but what would you be saying in the pub after? Would you be going, at least...
You'd be slagging the players,
down.
you'd be slagging the players off, Silver would be getting slagged off sitting there, he's got no passion, where's his commitment, sitting there on the line, not giving it nothing, players are going through the motions for him.
But
it'd
someone
be the same
would say,
examples.
surely, well, he changed the form.
Yeah, but it doesn't wash with 40,000
Someone
fans.
might, and he'd get shouted down.
That's me quiet.
I think it's all left
It could be a thankless task being a manager though, isn't it? Because say he did 4-3-3 on Saturday,
yeah.
we went 3-0. Suppose we go, Rudy Marco, why
Told you.
So you can't win, can you?
No,
you know. But I do agree that I think it is a time for him just to do something different.
Yeah.
You know.
We think it though, Gav. We'll ask each one of us, Willie, do you think he will?
The fact that I'm not answering this yet probably indicates to me that
His track record would suggest he wouldn't.
So Gav reckons he'll go 4-2-3-1. Greg, what do you think he'll do?
Same, but I hope he doesn't. But his track record would suggest he's like, this is how I'm going to have to play, and I'm going to stick to it. So if I was a betting man, I'd say 4-2-3-1.
I am a better man, and I think he'll go 4-2-3-1 as well.
I am a betting
David
man.
for the full house.
Yeah.
Not what you want.
Yeah,
What do you think he'll?
All I was going to say was, I think had he not had these injury issues, I think he would have bit the bullet by now and changed it.
Yeah, he would have.
I think I reckon he'll be sitting here now on the build-up thinking about going to it, but come Saturday, he'll go back to the 4-2-3-1. Play it safe.
There's a clean sweep of 4-2-3-1.
We'll get
So
back
don't complain.
I hope we're wrong, of course.
So do I.
It'll be an early kick-off indeed. Well, before we go to predictions and stew over West Ham,
The cameraman's got off, by the way.
Got another hour before our date night starts.
the fixtures got released for December and January. This just shortly before we were recording. The first one up is surprising. Amazon have got the rights to the first Merseyside derby. Greg, what else is there?
So there's 6 games that have changed. Obviously, as you just said, on Wednesday, 4th of December, Amazon have got the derby. And we've got Chelsea 3 days later. Originally, it was a 3 o'clock kick-off. It's now 12:30 on BT Sport. The game against Man U at Old Trafford's been pushed back 1 day. So it was 14th of December, kicking off at 2. And it's now on Sunday, the 15th of December. It's on Sky Sports. And BT will also show the final game before Christmas at home to Arsenal on 21st of December, kicking off at 12:30 instead of the original 3 o'clock. So another 12:30 are there. Amazon will air the Boxing Day game with Burnley. It's going to be
3 p.m.
And there's a shift for the New Year's Day trip to City. It'll kick off at 5:30 rather
On
than
New
3,
Year's Day.
and it'll be on BT.
It's going the last time New Year's Eve and kick off, like,
Gavin, I'll tell you, what are your take on the Amazon getting the rights to Premier League games? Is this now a change in what's going to happen in terms of football now on TV? You've seen Amazon Prime
fragmentation of rights, isn't it? Is a very expensive thing if you're a football fan and want to buy 3 subscription packages, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. But it's the only way they can maintain the domestic rights, because, as we all know, the domestic rights have really peaked, haven't they, in football? Yeah. I think the last one was 10% drop, wasn't it, something like that. They've maintained the TV money because the overseas rights have gone up so much, and they reckon that by the next round of bidding, the next cycle of bidding, the overseas rights will be worth more than the domestic rights. In places like India and is areas to tap into, you know. So it's inevitable that they fragment, but I'm not a fan, and they've got to buy 3 different subscriptions to watch Premier League football.
You've got Sky Sports, BT, and now Amazon.
Yeah, exactly.
First 3 p.m. games as well on television.
Well, yeah, that was part of the one of the packages, isn't it? It's midweek, so one whole set
all
of
the
midweek
Boxing Day fixtures. Yeah.
That'd be interesting trying to get onto. There's like 6 or 7 games on at the same time.
There's 4. Interestingly enough, on Boxing Day, there's 4 different kick-off times live on Amazon. I think they've got a 12, they've got an 2:30, they've got an 5:30, and then they've got an 8 o'clock right throughout Boxing Day.
Yeah, to extend it though, what I would say is I could live with that, and I still cannot believe you're not got in a position like we are in, I think, all the other major European leagues, where you can't watch every game live.
Yeah, it's an
absurd thing.
I think that's next.
Yeah, that's the way.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just going to say, I understand why. I'm right in saying, do you think it'll affect match attendances? Is that still
that's the concern,
line?
isn't it?
But at this day and age, anybody can find a 3 o'clock kickoff on a stream online, can't they? I think if you're a match goer, you maintain to be a match goer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd never do that because obviously it's illegal.
We don't condone that on this show.
No, but seriously, you know, to help protect against that, if you imagine, say, you got a, I don't know, but say it's Everton away season ticket, we could watch something HD quality every game, something
Why not
like
Ultra
that.
HD, Cap?
Yeah, or whatever. 4Q, whatever it's called. No, for £100.
Yeah, you pay.
See, you pay, wouldn't you? Save looking around on streams of it Saturday 3 o'clock or something like that. And that to me would help try and fight the stream thing. You know what I mean? It was, and I just can't believe, because I think I'm right. I think every other European league you can watch every game live. I think I'm pretty certain. That's why Serie A attendances went through the floor, wasn't it? When they brought it in.
Do you think that would happen in the Premier League and with a club like Everton as well? Do you think that would matter?
But if every game was on live?
If every Everton game was on live, do you think attendances would drop?
Well, that's a very good question in itself.
Everton, particularly,
but that to be balanced against how much extra revenue you would earn from it. And I just think fundamentally it just seems daft in this day and age that you can't watch every Premier League game live.
I totally agree, but I think ultimately you can't compete with being at a live sporting event at the moment.
I agree. I think you either go because that's what you do.
Yeah.
I just think it's as simple as that.
Alright, I'll put into context then, Everton have got this 50-odd thousand all-seater stadium in the Bramley Moor. Do you think if Everton TV went live on every single home and away match, charge £5, you could watch it in your living room, in HD, do you think attendances would drop?
I sold you there, Greg. Don't be coming.
It depends how many people are watching in the first place. If you've got 100,000 people who want to watch it each week and you've got a stadium of 50,000,
but would they fill a stadium? Would you think they'd fill a stadium?
It depends on it. This goes back to the old capacity issue of Bramley Moor, which we're not going to revisit.
Yeah.
But if you're Liverpool or Spurs, you've got 150 to 200,000 people who are on your membership scheme, and you've got stadiums that are 60,000, you can do that.
Yeah.
Because you know that actually you're still going to fill your 60,000 people. If you're Everton and you've got 50,000 members and you've got a 50,000 seater stadium, it's a different answer. So for 12, 15 Premier League clubs, actually it's a no-brainer. Our demand is far greater than what we can, the number of seats in our stadium. Yeah, that would work for us. If we went to Bramley Moor, it might not work for us because our margins of the number of people who want to watch us on the size of Bramley Moor is very small. So it's an interesting thing, but ultimately I think that's the only way they're going to keep the size of the domestic rights for TV, because that's what they've done effectively. It used to be like 2 games a week on live, didn't it?
Yeah.
And they've steadily increased that as a way of maintaining the rights.
Yeah.
And I think the next round will be, I would imagine the next round or the round after the TV rights domestically, you will get that, because that's the only way they're going to make money.
I think so. Facebook are going to get involved.
Yeah, exactly.
Facebook definitely, because
that's the future, isn't it?
Do you think as well that the how competitive, and Everton have got a brilliant track record in this regard, how competitive the ticket pricing is at the Bramley Moor would have an impact?
Massive.
Because I still think if they can find a way to keep it competitive, people are going to rather be in an all singing, all dancing, brilliant new stadium on Liverpool's waterfront than be watching it at home, really.
I agree,
Especially Scousers. If we've established a decent global fan base by then, or we're in the process of doing so, then obviously they can watch it on the season pass. I even think it has to be mutually exclusive. You can't have one, or you can't have the other. But yeah, then it comes around to capacity, and let's not.
It comes down to being successful on the pitch as well, because if Everton, are exactly where they are now, are they going to have 58,000 down the Bramley Moor? It's highly unlikely.
Let's not go there. But what we're saying is when you said this at anything decision like Bramley Moor, you don't look what was happening 20 years ago with attendances and people's behaviours. You're looking at what's going to be happening in 20 years' time. And look, what will football look like in 20 years' time? Well, actually, the future of football, like everything in modern life, is streaming, isn't it? It's not like going to the game. You've got lots of, the current generation is watches football in a completely different way, then I'm going to say our generation there, but very optimistic on my you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally agree.
It's all mobile phones, it's all social media, all that type of stuff. That thing, and smaller attention spans, all that type of thing.
Yeah.
So all that thing has to play into the, the future of Bramley Moor and ticket prices and all that, and what we offer there. So it'll be interesting.
It's an interesting time. Speaking of generations, we'll have to get back to West Ham before we wrap up. Greg, will Everton win? Simple answer, yes or no?
Yeah, I think they'll win. I've got a good feeling about this. I think all the noise, everything, I think key men like Richarlison are due a good game. I'm not bevied before you say it. It's only had one Guinness. Yeah.
What's going to change differently from the previous 4 defeats?
I think Richarlison will find form. I think if Sigurdsson starts, he will find some form. I don't know why I've got this feeling. Maybe I don't think the team and Silva I just can't comprehend another disappointing performance at home and another defeat by a side that we should be finishing above this season. Now, call me naive. I think saying that, is it Hassler? They've got game-changing players as well. But I think back. I said it earlier in the podcast, and I think back at Richarlison against Wolves. I think he's got it in him to change games, and I hope he has it in him on Saturday.
Match winning moments.
Yes, and I think I feel like he'll produce a couple.
Take your blue tinted specs off, David. Will Everton win?
Truth is, I think it's a game that could literally go anyway. That's a prediction. I'm
going to bet on it.
No, not at all. No, I think it'll be a fantastic game to watch as a neutral because I think there'll be goals. I'm hoping for an Everton win. I believe Everton can win genuinely, but West Ham, they're not a bad side, so it'll be difficult. I'm going to go in Everton win, but it could go anyway.
Gav, Everton don't like getting out of bed, do they?
Yeah, well,
basically.
Yeah,
who does?
I think they haven't won a game in the last 8, 12, 30 kickoffs on a Saturday.
There's no need for that, so.
Not a problem.
I mean, to be fair, it doesn't get out about at 2 o'clock of a Saturday afternoon for the 5 o'clock evening kickoffs doesn't make a difference. When I was your understudy on West Ham Day, one of the lowest points in my life, Scott's understudy, is they asked me what I thought the score would be.
Hope you haven't changed your mind.
And I said, diplomatically, 1-1. And I said at the start that a draw wouldn't be like the end of the world. I'd take it.
Would that stop Farhad from him banging the door down?
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Wouldn't be ideal, would it, by any means?
I'm with you. It could. Do you know what? I think the fans have got a massive part to play, and it all depends on the first 10 or 15. I know, but it's because we're in this situation where the first 10 or 15 minutes absolutely crucial.
If we score first.
Yeah, if West Ham score first from a set piece, can you imagine it?
Can you imagine it? I know Arsenal different kettle of fish to West Ham. We scored first then, didn't we? Wayne Moon scored, didn't he?
The 5-2,
The 5-2, Wayne scored, didn't he? So,
I know that. I think this is different circumstances. I think it's just building, and I think people are looking for excuses to prod at him. And if the goal goes in from a set piece again, you go.
So at least it's worth knowing West Ham have only scored from one set piece this season, and it's not really their bag. So hopefully they won't. They don't
more certain now, is they?
I look at their front four, and I think that's a top front four for the team outside.
For their size, it's probably one of the better ones you'll get outside the top four.
Well, which annoys me, by the way, from a recruitment point of view, because we're an equivalent sort of at the moment budget, arguably. Maybe we've got a wealthier owner.
Yeah.
So why have they recruited the better front four than us? I'm not saying man for man.
Simple as.
Well, at least one player we've been after, haven't we? Well, we bid for him, didn't we? That was the story, wasn't it?
He scored a few goals lately and won a few past us in recent years. If you do want to watch Everton versus West Ham, you're not Goodson Park, make sure you get down here. $14.95, meal, pint, and the Blues will be on the screen. Thanks to Gav, Greg, David, and myself as our cameraman. You know all the social media to contact us. Thanks for tuning in.